Hi, I'm Joseph Anton Carter from Enjoyafilm, here to bring you an Enjoyafilm review on Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, if you're a fan of the friendly neighborhood web-slinger, you've probably already had a chance to see Spider-Man Homecoming, but if you're reluctant, I hope that after this review you give it a chance because I certainly enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. Number 1. Fastest setup I have ever seen in a Marvel movie, and it wasn't like annoyingly fast. It was actually just like, oh, thank God they get that we know so much about Spider-Man, and make sure that every element of the setup is used later on in the film, making for a very cohesive piece, which I'll talk more on later. There's no flashbacks to the spider bite, there's no flashbacks to Uncle Ben dying, nothing like that. The film moves so quickly that before even the Marvel Studios opening happens, they have the villain set up already. So you don't have to worry about, okay, so when is the villain showing up, in the middle of the plot? That's already happening well before we even see Peter, so that way we are relieved we're actually gonna face conflict and not just constant setup. The title Homecoming might even scare you because you're thinking to yourself, oh no, a lot of this takes place in school. But you will be out of high school and swinging in New York City before you know it. Number 2. Michael Keaton's performance. It wasn't so much the character, the Vulture, that was fantastic. It was what he brought to it. The intensity he had brought the audience to a hush. And it wasn't the Joker, Heath Ledger status. He just brought something special that was way more than the whole I'm bad but for good reasons complex that we see in, every single Marvel movie ever that has come out. He's not really that crazy. He's just like a guy who's just trying to make a living. He doesn't have this flip evil side, which would have been expected, but no, Michael Keaton plays it real straight, and it made for a way more interesting villain who had something to say. The politics he brought up, I was actually interested in hearing, and that kind of wasn't expected from a Spider-Man film. I know Marvel films do it all the time, but from a Spider-Man flick to actually make me think about the times we're in right now, was not expecting that, and if it wasn't for Michael Keaton, I don't know if that would be even possible. Number 3. The film does more than break expectations. It knows how to surprise you by literally showing you angles of Spider-Man that we haven't seen before. We have a shot where he's running into the alleyway and he's getting dressed and he's getting in a costume, and it's such a simple shot, but the fact that it wasn't CG like in Spider-Man 1, in the shadows from the crime perspective, I was blown away. We haven't actually just seen him just put on the suit, which has always brought me to the conclusion of, yeah, of course not, because they have people putting on the suit for him behind the scenes and, they need the cut. They did it right in front of us. He's an excited teenager ready to fight crime. I actually felt that genuine excitement. There wasn't that Nolan effect. Man, I'm thinking way more than I have to. Another unexpected surprise is that it's actually kind of hard for Spider-Man to find crime in the city, which is what I always thought about. I was like, how does he find crime? Oh yeah, spider sense, which they don't include at all in the film, which I think was John Watts' way of staying as far away from the original movies as possible. We don't have to be involved in that. That's just Spider-Man's innate ability of knowing what the hell's around him. Finally, the biggest surprise of the film was actually making me as an audience member feel scared of heights. I never saw an audience more quiet when this sequence was happening. I'm not going to say when, but it was kind of scary. Once again, John Watts just added with an excellent use of cinematography to really get that inertia, that feeling that we're gonna slip and fall. Not like a horror movie status, but it made me feel even more in the boots of Spider-Man, which is what seeing a Spider-Man movie should be all about. Anyway, there was a lot that I liked about the movie, but there was just a few qualms that I want to mention because otherwise I wouldn't really be doing my job with the review. So, how the hell did New York City construction workers hack into alien technology within 2 scenes of the film? This is what I was talking about earlier, where they set up the villain right at the beginning.
Could have made some pretty cool stuff from all that alien junk.
I don't know, it just seemed a little far-fetched. Number 2, Peter uses a tracking ability before he unlocks his advanced ability that just comes out of nowhere. He shoots a little spider up an enemy's pant leg, and I'm just like, did you make that? Was that a little bit of a way to push the plot or what? And that wasn't the only overconvenience. There was others that I was a little like, come on. She's gonna be in earshot when she says she has a crush on Spider-Man. Really? That's the way you're gonna bring these two lovebirds together? Maybe I've been just single too long. But here's the thing. Little things like that are fine. Because in this film, although they have these, set up punchlines, they push them to their maximum dramatic potential. There's a whole lot of, oh yeah, they're going to's that comes up in your head as you watch this film, and then they end up not happening. I think the fact that this film's had 6 screenplay writers, 95% of the time, things were properly set up, and made this whole film feel really tight overall. I think Jon Watts did an amazing job with this picture, and something that if you are even remotely interested in Spider-Man should go out and see. And if you don't get a chance to check out Spider-Man Homecoming, enjoy film.